Before the outbreak, the curfews start. My name's Logan. I used to fix dishwashers for a living. Not exactly hero material, right? That Monday, I just wanted to get home, eat leftover pizza, and watch the game. Then the sirens started. It wasn't like the old tornado drills or the fire alarms at work when some idiot microwaved a fork. This was different. The sound was longer, louder. It cut through every wall, every car, even the floor under my shoes. I remember thinking, if the neighbor's yappy dog can sleep through this, I'll lose my mind. I never saw so many army trucks in my life. I grew up in Ohio, so maybe I was naive, but military was always something you saw on TV. Now, Humvees blocked every intersection. Camo guys with real guns. I'm not talking plastic riot shields or sleepy National Guard with big smiles. These guys never smiled. They barely even blinked. One waved me off my usual route home, said the words you never want to hear from a guy with a rifle. Go back. For your safety. But safety doesn't bleed. The first time I saw blood on a curb, I almost stepped in it. Just a little, like someone cut their hand. But there was nobody hurt, no ambulance, just stains. I got home late that night. And the news? Just a rerun of an old parade. My phone started buzzing with rumors. The hospital was full, the bridge was closed, some guy tried to run the checkpoint and got shot. My buddy Ray texted me, "Don't go out. Military's everywhere. Something's wrong." I made it through martial law Monday like that, glued to my couch, curtains drawn, every muscle tight. My mom called, her voice all shaky. "Just stay in, baby. Don't open the door." But people don't listen. Not in this town. Next day, the city woke up angry. My neighbor, Mrs. Grant, was on her porch yelling about her missing husband. The coffee shop guy tried to drive to work, but never came back. By noon, the block felt emptier, and the soldiers just stood there, stone-faced, saying, "Please return inside." Nobody said why. If you pushed, they pointed their guns. Not at the ground, not at the sky, but right at your chest. That's when people started whispering, "This isn't for our safety. They're keeping us in." By Wednesday, phones went dead. Not just service, the whole screen black. My data plan always sucked, but this was different. Landlines, internet, TV, everything snapped off one by one, like someone pulling plugs in the dark. Drones flew low enough to rattle the dishes in my cabinet. Sometimes they just hovered over our street for hours, buzzing like hornets. The mail stopped coming. Trash piled up. Nobody talked above a whisper. The only thing louder than the drones was the way my stomach dropped every time one of them pointed at my window. Containment, the word started spreading. Nobody said quarantine. That was a dirty word. Made you think of Ebola or those old movies where people get locked in a room and nobody comes out. But containment was softer, like, it's just temporary, except temporary gets weird, fast. I saw it Thursday night. One guy, Mr. Roberts from 2 blocks over, just walked right down the middle of the street. He wore a bathrobe, sandals, and a hospital bracelet. He kept yelling something I couldn't hear, but it sounded like, "It's not real." 2 soldiers grabbed him, dragged him behind the Humvees. I wanted to look away. I tried. But I saw the way they handled him. Not careful, not like cops at a drunk tank. Like he was a threat, a thing, not a neighbor. He didn't come back. The street was quiet after that, so quiet I could hear my own heart pounding. We started to adapt in stupid ways. Covered the windows, stuffed towels under the doors. I dug out my old baseball bat and kept it by the bed, even though it was probably useless. My upstairs neighbor, Janelle, knocked on my door and whispered, "We're taking down the smoke detector. They're listening." At first I thought she was nuts, but then I started hearing weird clicking sounds from the vents, from the old cable box. I smashed them with a hammer. That night I didn't sleep at all. Ray came over the next day. He'd been in the Marines for 6 months before he got hurt and sent home. He showed me how to tape up the windows, how to keep watch without being seen. He brought old radios, knives, protein bars, and whispered, "Don't trust them. Not the soldiers. Not anyone who looks too calm." We practiced fighting. Not like the movies. There was no time for slow-motion heroics. Ray showed us how to use furniture as shields, how to aim for knees, how to run fast and not look back. We trained with two other neighbors, Janelle and Mrs. Grant, who was suddenly tougher than any of us expected. Sometimes we joked to keep from losing it. Most times we didn't. By now, the streets were empty. The world outside our apartment was something else. Quieter, hungrier. We didn't know what we were hiding from, only that the rules made less sense every day. You stop thinking about what day it is. The world outside moves in cycles, like a broken washing machine stuck on rinse. Every night, something new goes wrong. We take shifts, sleeping, half dreaming with baseball bats and knives in arm's reach. Ray's always awake, staring out through the slats of the blinds, radio clutched in his fist. Sometimes Janelle hums old country songs to herself, so soft I can't make out the words. Mrs. Grant drinks, but nobody calls her out on it. First night, nothing. Second night, same. Third night, the city finally breaks. It's after midnight. We're all half asleep. Then we hear it. A door somewhere on the block slamming, a scream sharp enough to make my teeth hurt. Ray and I move to the peephole. All we see is the orange flash of gunfire and something running, too fast, too awkward to be human, but maybe it is. We hear boots on the pavement, not just soldiers but heavier, like someone in riot gear stomping through puddles. But no shouting, no hands up, just that thing screaming until it stops, cut off mid-breath. After, the neighborhood is silent. Not a dog, not a car, nothing. We wait until dawn, but nobody speaks. The only proof it wasn't a dream is the blood on the curb, so much you can see it from the window, smeared and dark, leading into an alley. The soldiers don't even try to clean it. They just watch. Ray says, "They're not here to protect us." We try to make sense of it. Was it a person? Was it a soldier? The answer never matters because it keeps happening. Every night after midnight, something gets taken. Sometimes you hear screaming, sometimes nothing at all. Sometimes a family disappears and their front door hangs open until soldiers board it shut the next morning. We watch and wait. Nobody dares to go outside, not even for food. The air starts to smell bad, like burnt plastic and rotten meat. Mrs. Grant says, "That's what a war zone smells like." But I can tell she's guessing. After a week, Ray says we have to move. "They're going house to house," he says, pointing at the way the soldiers split into groups, sweeping the block, never looking up at the windows. Whatever's taking people isn't stopping. We start planning. Janelle finds an old city map. Ray checks the basement doors and the fire escapes. We pool what little food we have, crackers, canned beans, 2 bottles of water. We're not preppers, but nobody's a rookie anymore. The night before we leave, I see something that'll haunt me forever. I wake up thirsty and sneak a peek outside. Down the street, 2 soldiers are standing in front of an apartment. But there's someone else. This hunched figure moving on all fours, its skin too pale and thin. It looks up, straight at me, and its eyes are wrong, reflecting the streetlights like animal eyes. I duck back, heart hammering. The soldiers don't do anything. They let it pass. Ray says, "Whatever's out there, they know about it. They're letting it happen." I want to scream, but there's nowhere to put that fear, so I just keep it inside. We leave that night. The sewers are our only option. Ray pries up a manhole cover with a crowbar he found in the maintenance closet. The smell almost knocks me out. Mrs. Grant throws up. Janelle goes first, holding her nose, her face set like she's marching to war. I'm last, dragging our stuff in a pillowcase. It's worse down there. The tunnels echo every step. You hear water dripping, rats squeaking, but something else too. A wet, slithering sound that never gets close enough to see. At every junction, we stop, listening. Ray draws arrows with chalk so we don't get lost. Once we hear voices behind us. Not words, just laughter, too soft to be real. Janelle grabs my arm so tight I lose feeling in my fingers. Ray tells us to keep moving. Don't answer, don't look back. We come up through an old subway tunnel, the tracks rusted and covered in dust. There are bodies here, old ones, dressed like office workers who never made it out. The kind you see in disaster movies. Ray keeps his knife out. I hold a broken pipe. Mrs. Grant carries a frying pan like it's a shield. I wish we could pretend this is a joke, but nobody's laughing now. As we make our way, I see someone standing in the shadows. My heart stops. It's my sister, Megan. I saw her die last year. Car accident, closed casket, the whole thing. But here she is, alive, waving at me with her same crooked grin. Logan, come here, it's safe. I freeze. Janelle pulls me back. There's no one there, she whispers. I look again. Megan's gone. Just darkness. For a second, I think I'm losing my mind. Ray says, keep your head straight. They'll mess with your mind if you let them. But later, I hear my sister's voice behind me, all sweet and happy, just like when we were kids. It's okay, Logan. You're safe now. I almost believe it. The worst part isn't the monsters you can see, it's the ones you can't. We keep moving, and every time someone says my name, I flinch. Janelle asks if I'm all right. I say yes, but I'm not sure anymore. Mrs. Grant keeps smiling, too much, too wide, like she forgot how to frown. Ray stops answering to his name at all, and the city above keeps dying, block by block, until we're all that's left. Nobody talks about hope anymore. All that's left is rage, confusion, and this itch under your skin that says you'll never be safe again. The city's just a husk now. You can't go 5 feet without stepping over broken glass, burned cars, bodies. We keep to the shadows. We listen for boots and for those things that sound almost human. You start to wish for the soldiers over whatever's hunting us at night. At least, the soldiers are predictable. You see them, you hide. That's the rule. But the rules don't keep you safe from everything. One morning, we find a group holed up in the library. Real people. Ex-cop, a kid who used to bag groceries, a nurse, someone's grandpa with a shotgun. They don't trust us at first, and I can't blame them. But Ray gets through by talking Marine. Soon we're swapping stories and pooling food. We realize we're not alone. Not just us, not just our street. Survivors are everywhere, but we've all been cut off. Turns out the soldiers control the broadcasts, the roads, the cell towers. They're running this like a prison, and we're the inmates. We're tired of waiting to be next. A plan comes together. Not pretty, not smart, but desperate. Someone finds gasoline and empty bottles. Someone else has a laptop that can still catch old police radio. We're gonna hit a checkpoint, not to escape, but to get the truth out. There's a station with a tower just a few blocks over. The idea is, hit them fast, get the kid and the nurse inside to record what's really happening, then blast it on every channel left. If we die, at least the world will know. We go in at dawn, all yelling and swinging pipes, throwing Molotovs like we've done it before. Gunfire pops and cracks. Smoke fills the street. I see Ray go down, hit in the leg, but he waves us on. Janelle drags him behind a dumpster, and I keep running, clutching the old laptop like it's a newborn. Mrs. Grant is screaming at the soldiers, calling them cowards, waving her frying pan like it's a sword. I see the kid and the nurse get inside the station. For a second, I think maybe we're actually gonna make it. Then I see one of the monsters, skin peeling, jaw unhinged, wearing a soldier's uniform. It tears through a barricade like it's cardboard. The nurse never sees it coming. The kid just freezes. I want to help, but I can't move. Someone drags me back, and we watch the glass splinter as the monster bursts through. The broadcast flickers on every TV and every window. You see the truth, clear as day. Soldiers shooting survivors. monsters among them, the whole city burning. Then static, gunfire, screaming. Everything goes black. We barely get out. I lose track of time, dragging Ray through alleys, past burned-out cars and shattered storefronts. The sun finally rises, pink and sick over a city that looks nothing like home. We climb to the roof of a bank to see if anyone's left. There are figures moving, not monsters, but people. Real, scared, angry, but alive. We wave, they wave back. There's hope in that, maybe. Or maybe just something to do until the next night. Ray's bleeding bad, but he's laughing, shaking his head. Janelle pulls off her jacket to tie his leg. Mrs. Grant sits down next to me, passing a bottle back and forth. I look at the sunrise and wonder what happens now. The city is different. We're different. There's no going back to fixing dishwashers or worrying about the rent. I can see survivors on other rooftops. Some wave flags, some flashlights, some just stand there, staring out at the smoke and the sky. There's nothing left but us, and that has to be enough. Now it's my turn to lead. I don't have all the answers, but if you're hearing this, if you're hiding, if you're scared, if you still think the soldiers are the good guys, listen. If you see armed soldiers, hide immediately. Stick with the living. Burn the lies down. Survive. And maybe, just maybe, when the smoke clears, we'll still be human. If you made it to the end, thanks for listening to my story. If you want to hear more true horror like this, hit subscribe, drop a comment about what you would do in my place, and share this video with someone who needs a scare tonight. Stay safe, stay hidden, and don't trust the soldiers.